All right, coming up, another Patriot player fighting with the NFL in court, plus how journalism made a mess of the Hanley Ramirez situation. Patriots receiver Julian Edelman's court date was set for today for him to appeal the 4-game suspension handed down to him by the NFL. Edelman believes that the NFL mishandled the evidence throughout the course of the investigation, which led to his failed test. This is just great. And obviously the worst part about the suspension wasn't the actual fact that he could miss games. It was that now we would have to talk about Julian Edelman, a Patriots player, fighting in court with the NFL. Oh, and there's more good news. It appears that if the arbitration doesn't go his way, Edelman could wind up in federal court. Yippee skippy. So it appears that former Red Sox Hanley Ramirez isn't involved in any sort of drug trafficking, fentanyl trafficking ring. The initial story that ABC News broke proved to be somewhat reckless. According to the Boston Globe, the guy who was caught with the drugs just dropped Hanley's name in an effort to save his own ass. And I think this whole situation is an indictment on where we are today in terms of news, media, and journalism. Journalism failed us here. Adam Katz, Hanley Ramirez's agent, said, quote, "The reporting on Hanley's involvement in this matter was reckless and irresponsible. It's unfortunate that one careless, inaccurate story can generate such widespread negative and damaging coverage," close quote. Journalists trying to cover, trying to break news, trying to get people interested in something. That's a big problem in this industry overall right now. What are people watching? They're watching James Corden carpool with Paul McCartney. They're watching something that's entertaining. They're watching something that fits on social media. It's just another example of how this business has changed so dramatically. And then you add the fact that the journalists who are still out there trying to do their job aren't getting these stories right. And this story specifically shouldn't be a huge surprise because the only evidence anybody was really going off of was that this guy made a FaceTime call to Hanley. That was the only connection that he had. All right, take your pick. Which is a more intriguing watch? Summer League basketball or spring training baseball? Now, I'm sure this question would be received differently in different parts of the country where the weather might not be as cold all winter long. But the answer here overall for me is Summer League basketball. Spring training is great. You get that first taste of spring, that first feel of baseball, the crack of the bat, whatever. Spring training games don't mean anything. Spring training statistics certainly don't mean crap. It's nice to see baseball being played for like 6 minutes. The basketball players that play in the Summer League, they come with a lot of hype. They come with a lot of promise. Those kids playing in that Summer League game in Orlando, in Vegas, can change the entire complexion of an NBA organization. That interests me more. All right, final take your pick. What's more interesting overall? A 90s television show making a comeback or a 90s band making a comeback? I'm going band here. Once I see what the people on the television show look like now opposed to 1998, the intrigue's really over. So now DJ Tanner has a smartphone. I mean, I guess seeing what kind of clothes these people are wearing compared to 1997 is somewhat interesting, but I'd rather see how a band's sound evolves. I'd rather see how a band's style evolves. And I just think if a band is able to come back and reemerge after many years or a decade, it's sort of a tip of the cap to longevity and staying power. If a TV show comes back and tries to reinvent itself, it just feels like everybody associated with the show and with the network is desperate and they're trying to revive an old idea and they're unable to come up with new innovative television that enjoys success. All right, my lock of the day, I'm taking the Washington Nationals plus 1.5 tonight at Tampa against the Rays. I just hate the Rays ballpark. I don't think the Rays are good. I'm taking the Nationals to win or lose by no more than 1 run. Bryce Harper goes off tonight. That's my lock of the day. See you tomorrow.
Well, as you know, I'm not on Snapface and all that, so I don't really get those.